Hi, I'm John Place, and I'm an entrepreneur. I say that with quotes. I don't know why, because I guess that's actually what I am. But it wasn't always like that. You know, I grew up really poor. I grew up in the projects on Section 8, welfare, food stamps, really bad situation. And from there, I mean, people, they can go one direction or they can go another direction. You have to kind of choose. You know, there's a lot of people, they say, oh, you know, my life was bad. I grew up bad, so I have to be bad. It's not true. And I'm proof of that. All my friends to this day are like, man, I don't know how you came out like normal, you know? So, not everybody's, you know, life is awesome. Everybody has, you know, issues growing up. But, you know, you have your own choice to go either here or there. I don't care what anybody says. You have your own, you know, you're the creator of your own destiny, basically. So, grew up poor. There was a moment in my life where my mom and sister wanted to move to Daytona. I decided to stay with my grandmother when I was 14 or 15. Stayed there. My grades went from like straight F's to, my grandma had two rules for me. Get good grades, make sure your room's clean. Okay. So I did. I started to get good grades. I was the first person in my family to graduate from high school and to go on to secondary school. And I did. In high school, I went from not really having any interests at all to finding video production was my thing, I guess. And I won scholarships and grants and all kinds of stuff with that. So I went on to vocational school for broadcasting and television production. I was in school there. I got hired at Comcast as commercial editor, so I was editing TV commercials. AT&T bought Comcast, became a producer for them. Back up a little, my Comcast job was awesome. You know, I had the best boss, and you know, wherever you work, the job isn't bad. No matter what you do, it's your leadership. You know, if you have a great boss and a crappy job, you're probably still gonna stay and you're gonna get through it or whatever. If you have even a great job but a crappy boss, you're gonna want to get out. That's just how it is. I had an awesome boss at Comcast. I mean, he was amazing. I loved my job. I loved going to work. When AT&T bought Comcast, it was more corporate and very like paperwork-ish, and the bosses weren't so great. I stayed there for 8 months and I left. When I left, it was great. All the salespeople, I was really fast at editing and getting things done. All the salespeople were sending me all kinds of work. I was making more money than I could possibly ever imagine. I mean, I had a house and cars and dogs and fun. I couldn't spend the money. I bought everything I ever wanted, and I still had money. And then 9/11 happened, and business stopped for a year. Had to give up my house, had to give up my car. There was times I would come home on a Friday night with my small son with no power. You know, we'd turn on candles and torch, you know, little lanterns and walk around the house. It was fun for him, but for me it was kind of depressing. I'd have to go to my grandmother's house to eat dinner. You know, it was bad. It was really bad. They were going to take my house, and I literally sold the house like 5 days before they were going to take it. So now I had extra money. I got another, like a little townhouse, and now I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do. You know, I can do video production. That's all I know. I don't know anything else. I've done that, you know, all high school and college. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to push video production because that's what I know. So I know one of the neighbors did printing, so I talked to him and said, hey, do you print business cards? I need some cards. And he said, hey, well, aren't you a graphic designer? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, why don't you do printing? Because I'm not a printer. He's like, no, you broker it through me. You know, so say 5,000 cards, you'll pay me $60. You can sell them for 125 and make money. I'm like, oh, that seems cool. So then I started doing that. It seemed, you know, I put a little pizza topper on my car, you know, one of those little signs that light up, and I had, you know, it said $99 business cards or whatever. And I would wear yellow shirts that said $99 business cards everywhere I went. And it seemed like I was doing work here, and you know, steadily. But at the end of the year, you know, I added it up, and it was pretty good. It was like, I don't know, it was like 38 grand. And back in, you know, 2000, that's pretty good. It was actually more than I was making at my full-time job, you know, whatever. So from then I was like, okay, maybe I can make this into something bigger. Let me open a store. So it was called the Business Card Store. I had a storefront. People would come in, you know, I had a front desk. They would place orders, sit with a graphic designer. I did that for 2.5 years. The store, basically it just paid for itself. You know, unless somebody paid in cash, that's the only time I got paid. I had to pay an employee full time. You know, you have insurance and you have electric and you have, you know, all kinds of bills that just take up all the money. So I struggled with that for like 2.5 years. Then I closed that down and then just went back to my garage and started doing it, and I was making good money again. Then from there, I actually got one of the printing places said, hey, we want to start offering video. Can you do that for me? So they gave me an office space to go in there and do videos. And I was doing these little website video spokespeople things. And you go into a website and a person will walk out and talk to you. That became huge. I mean, it was like crazy money on those, like a lot. So from there was another company that was already doing those, but they were not great at it. So they found me and they said, hey, how much would it cost you or cost us to have you work with us? I was like, well, I work on my own. I don't work for people. So that was like on a Friday. Over the weekend, I was just thinking, I was like, you know what? Let me just give them a number. They either take it or they don't. It's not gonna hurt me either way. So I called them on Monday and said, yeah, I'll do it for, I don't know, I think it was like, I think I told them, I don't know, $60,000. And they were like, okay, can you start tomorrow? I was like, are you serious? Like, I'm going from like 38 to like 60, that's a huge jump. So I was like, okay, yeah. So I told the printing place that I was out of, I'm like, listen, I got this other thing. I'll still do stuff for you, but I'm gonna go there. Went there. So I started doing those, and then I built up their video production department to a point where they were bringing in about $130,000 a month just on that department that I created for them. I left there. There was some things going down, so I was like, first of all, I was making really good money there, because after even that, I ended up making more. I was pretty much taking home like $1,800 a week at that point. Then I quit. Just like something went down, I wasn't happy with it. I'm like, you know what, Friday's my last day. I'm in my garage, like crying, like literally crying. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, my heart is, I feel like I was gonna have a heart attack. I gotta tell Michelle, that it was bad. So I was like, but every time something bad, like, it's on you. You can make it happen. So I was like, you know what, let me just get on the computer. So my thing now with those spokespeople, we're charging $400 for each one for like a 30-second video. So let's see, it's summertime. All right, let me do like bikini places, health spas, stuff like that. So I sent out emails. Literally like the next day or the day after, a lady called me and she's like, hey, I saw your email. I need to do like a couple hundred of those things. Yeah, right. Nobody ever needs a couple hundred. Let's talk. We'll get through one and see how that goes. No, she needed hundreds of them for real. It was a huge national company, national franchise. They're in the top 500 or even less, 200. They're really big. Number one in the franchises. So for like 6 months, we did those videos. At that time, I didn't have a studio. I was in my garage, because I left the other place. So I called another friend of mine, not even a friend, he's just somebody I knew that had a studio that also did the little spokespeople. So I said, listen, I have a meeting. If I can use your studio, something comes out of it, we can split it. So we had a meeting, something huge came out of it, we split it, lots of money. It was just crazy. In a short period of time, I think in like, 5 months was probably $200,000, which was pretty crazy. So at the same time, I'm still doing videos. I get a call. One of my friends I met at a restaurant. He does balloons, like entertainment. He's a magician, does balloons. I tried selling him printing. I was at a restaurant. I was like, hey, you need printing? So he actually hired me to do a video for him doing magic. And then one day he called me and said, hey, I have a friend. She does face painting. Can you do face painting videos? Yeah, I can do face painting videos. So I met up with her. Her name's Heather Green. I think she's going to be on your show probably pretty soon too. She owns a place called Silly Farm Supplies. It's not farm supplies. People call all the time like, do you have cow food? It's not that kind of place. It's face painting, body painting, special effects, magic. It's all the stuff. And they're like I say they're like the Walmart of face and body art. I mean, they sell around the world. They're the #1 brand. Everybody knows who they are. So I did a few videos for her. Then she had this idea. She said, hey, I'd love to do hour-long classes on an online portal where people pay a subscription to learn how to do face painting and body painting and different things. And that's what this is, FABA TV. It's Face and Body Art Television. I don't know if you can see that. So that's the studio we're in right now. It's called Face and Body Art Television, FABA TV. We've been around now for, I think, 6 or 7 years. We have, almost 400 hour-long classes in HD, 3 cameras, teaching everything. From there, while I was doing all these classes, I'm shooting for hours, I'm editing for even more hours, I'm outputting for even more hours of that, but you start picking up things. So then I become kind of interested in body painting, so I practice on my arm and do little things. The thing that like grabbed me the most or attracted me the most was special effects. Somebody came in, did special effects. I was like amazed. So now I wanted to learn as much as I can about special effects. I'm really good at seeing something in an industry and seeing what I don't like about it, and then making my own version of whatever I don't like and make it better. And I think I'll talk about that later. But I think entrepreneurial things. You might not think you're an entrepreneur, but everybody is. You just need to know what it is that you want to fix. That's basically what it is. What are you going to fix? That's how I look at it. So anyway, okay, so now special effects. I'm practicing. I'm doing stuff. I'm doing this. Boom, boom. I developed something called Monster Paste. I thought it was just a thing that I was using. It was cool. People liked it. The International Face and Body Art Convention is every year. I had a bunch of it. Heather, she runs that because that's part of her business. She has like 6 businesses all integrated within Silly Farm. So I went there. I had a bunch of stuff made. Say a table like this big, and I sold out of everything in like 10 minutes. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. So I was like, okay, let me make a whole bunch more of it. That was in May. So in June, I started going on sale. So July, August, September, October. In 4 months, I sold probably about $80,000 or $90,000 worth of paste, basically. So that became a huge thing. And then from there, I always noticed like people would do these amazing body paints that take 8 hours. They're just the most beautiful works of art you've ever seen. But they have these like nipple covers, lady covers. And you would see like a round, I don't know, just like a disc. And it just looked, it always drew your eyes there, and it was ugly, and it really took away from everything. So I developed something called Monster Pasties. It's just a seamless, super easy something to put on, and I've sold probably about 16,000 pair in like two years, I guess. So that's become a huge thing. And then before all that, that's when we got into Zombie Ice, and we started running that. And what else? Oh, and then photo booths. Yeah, and then photo booths. Got into that just by accident. Somebody called me and said, hey, do you know anybody that rents photo booths? I said, no, try this place, try that place, because I know a lot of entertainment type companies. The next day, somebody completely different said, hey, do you know anybody that rents photo booths? I was like, Bob called me yesterday. He's like, no, I don't know him. I was like, well, what do you guys charge for those? He's like, yeah, usually between $800 and $1,200 a party. I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. Didn't even think about it. Then a month later, I met up with Bob. I don't even know if his name is Bob. I don't remember what it is. I'm just saying Bob. Met up with Bob, and we were talking. I was like, hey, did you ever find a photo booth? He's like, yeah, no, I can't find anybody good. The guy I had, his equipment kept breaking down. He was a jerk to my clients. He showed up late. Like, there was all these things. So I asked him the same question. How much do you guys charge for that? He's like, between $800 and $1,200. Why don't I have a photo booth? So I went home, started researching. Oh, they're expensive. That's why I don't have I don't have photo booth money. So then I just started breaking it down because I really wanted one. And when I want something, I'll get it. I'll figure out how to get it. So I'm looking at it, and wait, it's a camera, it's a computer, it's a printer, it's a this, it's in a box. I can build it. So I built one. And yeah, from there it just got, I got super, super busy. It was really big though. So I built a second version, it's a little smaller. And I built my third version, which is like perfect. That's the one I use now. It's called the Short Stack. ShortStackPhotoBooth.com. Say, if you want to buy one. MonsterPasties.com, MonsterPaste.com, ShortStackPhotoBooth.com, FunPhotoboothParties.com, ZombieIce.com, Nokini.com. I'll just tell you what it is. There it is. It's the Nokini.com. We'll talk about that later too. No, we already did. What else do I have? .com. Yeah, I have a lot of .com stuff. Everything.com. So I got into the photo booth. I started off with one. First year did well. Second year doubled it. Third year tripled it. This year I never thought I'd make that much money ever. Now this year hopefully I'll just keep doubling it like that, and I should be okay. And then I can go to Tennessee on the Ocoee River and whitewater raft all day. That's my goal. That's my goal. In the next 4 years. That's what I want to do. I'm sure there's a lot more to all that, but it's busy. You know what the best part about entrepreneur is? Nap time. I take a lot of naps, but here's the deal. They're not free. Naps aren't free. Okay, I used to take free naps. I would just nap all day. Yeah. Now I can't take a nap until I've earned $300. Now I can say it higher. I start off at 100, but that was becoming too easy. So now it's like $300. Once I make $300, I can take a nap. Some days I don't make $300. I don't take a nap. Other days I sell online overnight while I'm sleeping, and I wake up, I'm like, it's nap time. But the best, that's not the best part. I mean, for me, it's fun, but I like to say that. But really, like, just the freedom. Like, I don't have to go by anybody else's rules or anybody else's clock. I wake up when I want. You have to take it serious. I do everything fun or whatever, but there's serious things. Like, I have to get things done. I have to ship out product. I have to build products. I have to make stuff. Like today, I have to ship out a photo booth. I had to ship out 60 pair of Monster Pasties. So there's a lot of work that goes. People think I just hang out all day and take naps, but I don't. I actually do a lot of work. And then I take a nap. But, and then another thing too, like people, they never realize like the struggle, I guess. Like being an entrepreneur isn't fun. It is later, like I said before, but starting off, it sucks. It's a lot of work. And there's so many times, I can't even count how many times where I'm like, I need to get a real job. I have to, I can't do it anymore. Like, it's just not. But then you start thinking, like, if I get a real job, I can't pick up my kid early if he's sick. If the baby's sick at home, I can't just stay home. I gotta find babysitters. If I need to leave early, whatever. Now I could do that. Like right now, I should be home working, but I'm here doing an interview with you fine folks. So, if I worked at a normal job, I couldn't do that. I would have to stay there until 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, and then I don't want to do anything. I want to go home and sleep, and then that cycle just keeps going, and you hate everything about your job and about, whatever. At least that's how I think. I've worked for myself since 2001, so it's been a while. I can never imagine, like, going to a job and them telling me what to do all day. It won't work for me. Entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial mindset isn't for everybody. I'll start to say it. Like, there's some people that need to, they want to be told what to do. They go, they do their 9 to 5, they go home. That's that life they're happy with. And then there's other people that have ideas, but they never really jump on them because they have a 9 to 5. So here's my advice. If you're going to ask me for advice, here's my advice. All in or nothing. There's no half and half. I know people that do photo booths, for instance, on the side, and they have a full-time job. Their full-time job is always first, no matter what. You can only expand so much with not, it's all in or nothing. If you have the security of a normal job, you're not really going to push this as hard as you want to, or as hard as you think you want to. It's when you quit your job and you're like, oh crap, what am I going to do? That's when you start working. Another thing I would say is everybody has an idea. You might think about it, you're like, you'll have people that say, that's stupid, that's whatever. Oh, well, I make nipple covers for ladies for body painting. When I was in high school or college, I never thought I'd be a nipple guy. That sounds really bad. I'm so sorry. Lady parts. We cover lady parts. I don't know how to say it.
I love that stuff.
But here's the deal. Like, I've done a bunch of other weird things that I might not. I'm no millionaire, but I'm happy. And I'm always doing something different. And I'll go to sleep, and I'll wake up at 3 a.m. with some weird idea, and the first thing I do is I go to the computer, like this, and I'm researching and looking around, and there's things I've even done where it's already there, and then most people just give up, be like, oh, somebody already has it, let me do something else. But no, I'll just keep researching and looking into it, how I can make it better. Just because somebody did it first doesn't mean you can't do it better. So don't stop if you have an idea. I have an invention that I'm also coming out with. I'm trying to find the right programmer to do it, but I think that can be a huge thing too. And again, like if you think about it, you're like, it's kind of stupid. But you know what? If I have the problem, somebody else has that same exact problem. So look around your house. Everybody's good at something. Everybody has some skill. You might not think you do. Some people are good at sports. Some people are good at whatever it is you do. No, he's good at business. So like he's doing this channel now and giving people, inspiring people about entrepreneurship and business and goals. You do photography and stuff. You can go on and just talk about photography, but always find a way where you can sell something to somebody. So say you do all these free videos, do a little pamphlet, a little 6-page something, how to do whatever, sell it for $1. If you sell 1,000 of it, you just made $1,000. There's millions and millions of people in the world. You can sell it. You just have to find the same people with the same interests that are willing to spend $1, and you made it. So it's out there.
Go to Dollar Tree.
Go to Dollar Tree. Buy something cheap. There's another thing. I do a lot of stuff on Craigslist. Something Just see what stuff's selling for. Something's selling for $1,000 and you get it for $500 on Craigslist. Cool, buy it. Either resell it. Me, I buy stuff just so I can use it for certain things. I'll sell it for $700. I just made a couple $100 for for nothing, just reselling it. I know people, or I've heard stories too, and I know some people too that just buy things. I have a friend. He bought he always searches on Craigslist. He bought a barber's chair, an old barber's chair, for $300. The next day he sold it for $1,100. And then while he was in Miami, he was on Craigslist at a light and found a Miss Pac-Man full, like, old style cabinet. He bought that for $400. Before he left Miami, he sold it for $800. So you can buy and resell because, look at the price. If something's normally selling for $1,000, same thing, You might think, oh man, I'm ripping somebody off because I bought it only for $500. You're not ripping them off because at $700 it's still a better deal, so they're still getting a deal. So don't ever think you're ripping anybody off by reselling something that you bought cheaper. Because what is it? Every man's garbage is somebody's treasure, kind of a thing. Exactly. So yeah. There's a lot of stuff like that. Dollar store, you can buy the little things for $1 and resell it for $2. Make $1. Every little thing adds up. That's why I have like 7 different things because they all add up. And it works. Were you recording?